you can Google fat Jason Todd plushie or fat Red Hood plushie, and you'll find exactly what I'm talking about. They got him like big ballooned fat Jason Todd as a plushie. That thing basically only exists on TikTok. It's not real anywhere else. Prime is wearing a necklace of the fat Jason Todd plushie from TikTok
Uh,
in this, and it's just so fun. So I'm gonna throw one last one just for not the spiritual content, but just as an official poll. Superman 37. This is the second issue that is just on Superboy Prime,
okay.
filling in for Superman. Um, this is freaking fun. This is
Okay.
this is the most fun Superman book I've read.
Nice.
Um, Not just this issue, but the Williamson ones with Prime being the main character. So if you go back to issue 36 and 37 and just pick up those two, it's delightful.
Nice.
And I love Superman books, but this is fun. And so like this is Prime visiting the Kents
Mm.
and wanting to get the parental love that he didn't get anywhere else. And so the JSA Red um is hovering over the Kent farms to take him out in case he crosses the line. And it's just like this weird scenario. But because Prime exists in the world where all of our pop culture exists, and he knows all about the Superman comics and movies and TV shows and stuff. Um, Prime is just sitting there eating lunch. He's like, "Man, I'm glad you two are alive." They're like, "What?" He's like, he said there are some who prefer Clark's parent or prefer Clark Kent's parents dead, or like you had another heart attack, Jonathan. Surprisingly, Mark Wade wishes you two for 6 feet under. Personally, I like it when you're here. And like, there's literally an editor's note. This is true, Mark Wade. Um, but
Mm.
there's all these conversations, but then it's still got Prime working in a comic book shop, getting in trouble for being late because he's saving the world, but also being the best comic book employee ever. And then they give you the strategically super attractive nerd girl who's trying to invite Prime over to her abode to read comics. And he
Here you go.
literally, and then he literally says, "Why would I go there? I have all the comics here."
That's right.
And
Exactly.
just exactly like
Exactly.
um
Say less. Yes, that's true.
and I don't expect you to know these things because this is a deep TikTok cut. Um, but you know, TikTok sells junk, right? Like stupid stuff.
Yeah.
One of the stupid things TikTok is selling right now is a fat Jason Todd plushie.
Okay.
Like, and you can Google fat Jason Todd plushie or fat Red Hood plushie, and you'll find exactly what I'm talking about. They got him like big ballooned fat Jason Todd as a plushie. That thing basically only exists on TikTok. It's not real anywhere else. Prime is wearing a necklace of the fat Jason Todd plushie from TikTok
Uh,
in this, and it's just so fun. Um, but he's trying to figure out how to deal with being the unloved, unwanted child of the Superman family. So he tracks down Damian to ask Damian Wayne, how do you deal with being the formerly murderous, unloved kid out of your family? And they have an adventure together with Clayface, and he's like, "You're my favorite version of Clayface." And Clayface is like, "Shut up." And they're just having good moments, and it's a
nice.
fun story. Um, there and uh, I'm going to segue into my spiritual content because it's in here
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Before I have my anti-spiritual comment content.
Oh, I wonder if we have the same. We'll see. Hmm.
Doubtful. Are they on the anti-spiritual?
Maybe. Who
I
knows?
doubt it. Like I mentioned, that the Justice League is just watching over him and not giving him a chance to thing. And she says, "I know you mean well," and she calls Power Girl out of the sky and tells her to stop. But she says, "I know you mean well. You're angry at what Prime did, but you can't expect him to learn if you're always watching him like this. Sometimes the true sign of a good person is how they act when no one is watching. You got to let them try. And it reminded me just of the fact of, one, giving people second chances to be able to actually redeem themselves, but also there's a scripture that says the integrity of the upright.
Mm,
Let me type that in so I get it correctly. Integrity of the. It's Proverbs 11:3. The integrity of the upright guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity. And she straight up is just saying, listen, give the boy a chance to show that his integrity is actually improved. And we're definitely a culture that we're really quick to write people off as soon as you've made one mistake. You don't give people a
yeah,
chance to show they've grown, and it's probably a wise choice for us to give people chances. So,
yeah, that's a good point. Good
spiritual
point.
content, go ahead.
Spiritual content. So my spiritual content comes
I
from.
hated that book. It was so
So
bad.
listen,
Oh.
but I'm reading this. I'm going the first bit here. Okay, so Firestorm is coming to Earth, and it goes through 7 days of creation, creepy Firestorm style. And so the first, let's see. So it says. On the first day, the nuclear man descended from the heavens. On the second day, the nuclear man walked into the town of Bedford, Colorado. On the third day, the nuclear man began to experiment. He wanted to know what it would be like to live in a world of glass and chalk, so he made one. On the fourth day, the nuclear man transformed not only their world, but them as well. And on the fifth day, realizing what he had done, the nuclear man wept. On the sixth day, the nuclear man decided any vestiges of emotion he once had were no longer of any consequence. And on the seventh day, he rested. And so, in the beginning of this, it reminded me of conversations I had as a youth pastor. I had this kid who said, yes, I'm a Christian, but if I had to pick a second theological system, I would want the Greek gods. Like that's what I would want to have. And I remember going like, I don't understand like why that is the one you choose, where all the gods are these petulant, selfish, vindictive, violent, hateful creatures. Like that's what it is. And that's what this reminded me of. That if it's obviously mirroring the 7 days of creation and the language that's used there. But if there was no emotion and there was just destruction and hate and whatever else, that it would level a whole town. And so it was interesting juxtaposing that with the creation story. The fact that in the beginning the spirit hovered over the waters, and there's this move from chaos to order. So I was like, oh, that is interesting. That for the rest of the book, uh, Raymond is not in his mind, and it's just kind of a mindless firestorm that's going through and
It
destroying
gave me
things.
Dr. Manhattan vibes.
Yeah, I can see that. That's some real similar stuff there. I can definitely see that. Um, I mean, especially he's an otherworldly being without emotion and just kind of wanders around and is just changing the general structure, which definitely is Dr. Manhattan. So I don't know that I'm getting book two.
I'm gonna take all 7 continents as a game of risk.